All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. It is our Finding Family podcast. And the goal of our podcast is to talk about things that happen inside a family context, but outside of the idea of family. Like,
sure.
The bio family is bigger than your bio family.
Okay.
It's like our friends and family, our community context. And so our goal is to kind of to talk about things that pop up, things that are core values for our church, of how to build and be a part of a incredible family context as God intended it to be. Right? And so our overarching theme today is truth.
Okay.
And so as I bring up this idea of truth, inside of a friends or family context, tell me the first thing that comes to mind.
It's one of those that it's good but scary. You want to say, Sunday school answer is yeah for truth every time. But the reality is, right, more often than not, it's really tricky and uncomfortable to have truthful conversations.
Yes. And I think having truth be spoken to you. There's like this exercise that people will do, like, and I think like healthy leaders should do. I haven't done it. But where you like ask even the people around you, like, what is something that you see in me that you think I could be better at, or that you don't think is good or help, but being able to receive that feedback, or like even with your spouse, or, like I've never asked that question because
it's hard to hear.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when I learned that concept of your blind spot, and I was learning to drive. It was very convenient because it was like this mind-blowing reality that in any life circumstances, there are things you just can't see.
Yeah.
And you need help to see them. And so I thought, oh, that's so cool that God created us this way, and we can tell each other that, and we help each other out until
it's on you.
I experienced it. I was like, oh, yeah, that's tough. And especially if you're truly blind to it.
Yeah. I think there's a couple different types of people in the whole, like, telling the truth thing or experiencing the truth. There's a type of person who has a hard time hearing the truth about themselves, but can easily speak truth into someone else.
Yes.
And then there's the vice versa.
That's true.
It's the person who has a really difficult time telling people, here's something I see in you that could be improved a little bit, but they can hear it for themselves all day long. Yeah. And so there's a kind of like there's a
the two parts of the equation there.
Two sides of the coin, and people are different. And so there are people I know who just love feedback. And it's just like, just give it to me. Tell me the cold, hard truth, and their identities are built on it. And then there's the assumption from those people that everyone is okay. And so feedback is just, and then there's the type of people that feedback absolutely destroys them.
Yeah.
And then there are those, and then as the person saying them, there's the people that are just don't feel anything, right? Like, hey, we're going to just give you some feedback here and blah, blah, blah. And then there's the type of person who just has the most difficult time being honest as far as, so if something has offended them or hurt them. So in both of those, just to build a bit of context, tell me the type of person that you are, as far as if someone gives you feedback, and how are you giving it? Go, Jenny.
I'm probably unhealthy on both sides. So I would say I like in any kind of performance review or anything like that, when you're sitting down and then they get to the constructive criticism part, I crumble before any words come out of there. It's like, oh no, like, and I hold on to that, you know, and I struggle rather than taking it and saying, okay, this is something I could improve in myself. I feel shameful, or, you know, like I take it in an unhealthy way sometimes. Right. Or I'll be like, that's not true.
So how
put that in the drawer.
So turning the
yeah.
corner, how are you as far as telling people the truth? Terrible. Yeah. That's why I said unhealthy on both sides. Yeah. Because I think, you know, it's kind of that fear of like, I don't want to hurt your feelings. Right. I don't want to hurt you. I don't, you know, like, surely you know this about yourself, right? Yeah. You know? You've chosen not to do anything.
And this is, I think that's where my mind went when we were talking, is just that why, you know, did God establish this, you know, community and the value on truth? Like, because is that true? I don't think so, that people are all aware of everything. But obviously there's the art of learning how to do that masterfully in a good way. Because I think for me, I was thinking how I get hung up on people pleasing, and I want to be an encourager, you know, I want to care for your heart, and I want to, you know, all the people pleasing tendencies. So speaking something that might cause you some maybe friction on the relationship, or cause you to feel, embarrassed or discouraged, you know, it's hard, but I will turn the corner to reframe this, because I do believe there is a way to do that doesn't cause a negative, but, you know, you don't have to. Okay, my brain is bouncing all over the place. The Crucial Conversations book that we're reading as a staff, you know, they talk about the relationship versus speaking truth, and it doesn't have to be one or the other. Yes. That, like, I love the relationship so much that I won't share the truth and risk breaking that relationship. But it doesn't have to be just these two options. There's a third, which I think that's
all right. So
before
going on, tell us about you and the
my brain is trying to fix this problem. So as I said, I definitely, if I'm being honest, I will get caught up on people pleasing, and I'm not going to want to displease you. So I have a hard time being honest. I feel like in general, I can take feedback well. But I'm already so hard on myself to begin with. So that brings in an extra layer of kind of that perfectionism. And like, I already have all these things in my head of things that I don't think I'm doing well enough or whatever. And so when then somebody comes and affirms that, it's like, oh, why am I even trying? I should just give up, you know? So I think, but then I'm like, challenge accepted, you know, and I want to grow. I want to do better.
And I'm in the corner going, that's not true.
Well, I will have that moment of shame and, but then like, all right, I'm going to just do the best that I can. And I think that then again, the perfectionism, et cetera. So yeah, I think there's so many layers of unhealthy things that you can have going on in your heart that contribute to the truth telling or not.
So then on the other side, how are you about giving it?
Right, it's the people pleasing, so I can't.
Oh, you avoid it?
Yeah. I'm be like, oh, but you, I understand you. I want to lead with empathy, and I see why you're doing what.
I think that you're someone.
Whoa, here's my blind spot, everybody. Tell me.
I'm surprised at that. I think like, as you're like supervisor and friend. I think that you're like the only person I know that as soon as something comes up that bothers you, I'm going to hear about it as soon as it happens.
Well, thanks for saying that.
And I think that's I mean, like, so I don't know. I'm kind of surprised about that.
Well, that's cool. And I think, so, okay, that points to something important. We have a friendship that allows me maybe it's not a blank statement
Right.
to every person in your life. But
Absolutely.
maybe there are some people that you understand each other,
Yeah.
and then you can communicate things.
That's good. That's good.
Better.
What about you?
Okay, so man, I enjoy feedback if it's accurate.
Mm.
I if it is not like fickle
Okay.
or petty or obvious. I hate things that are obvious, right? But if someone like truly cares about me and says, "Hey, I saw this happen. I don't know if you saw it or not, but," and then it's like, "Oh my gosh, thank you. That's a gift." That is like, because you care for me, you're giving me this gift that I didn't see drop. But if it's like a character assassination or like a character thing, that's just like, yeah, I don't think that's true. That really, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that, sorry to interrupt you,
Yeah.
but I think then it's the difference between speaking the truth versus just attacking.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I don't do great being attacked.
Right. That's
and-
fair.
Yeah.
I have this whole thing like so people always talk about like people should not be defensive. However, if they're being attacked, I would say put the armor on, defend yourself.
Yeah.
Don't like open up and say jab me through the heart.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like, if something isn't true, I am going to defend.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
As far as like speaking the truth goes, and like, I think like I'm good at it to a point, and possibly I try to be kind at first and compassionate at first, but then if I'm being kind and compassionate and I bump up against a defensive posture or a blame shifting posture, then like something inside of me says, I'm going to destroy you.
Here's the
like,
truth.
Yeah, like I'm going. So if I have to spell it out, I am just going to throw down. And I hate like turning into that person. And
that's your instinct.
Yeah, that's my instinct. And so I think there's this healthy balance between us, that if our conversation can go there, because I believe that for the people at home, for us to kind of hash out like some of this, like how do I hear feedback and go challenge accepted, and then how do I give feedback by sitting alongside someone and saying, I truly want beautiful things here.
Right. Yeah.
From our things. Go ahead.
Sorry, finish your thought.
So I was just gonna say, I think that helps our family context, that helps our small group context, our friendship context, all contexts. If they're between human beings, truth has to be said. And I heard a thing a super long time ago that I just think is really beautiful. It's all truth points to God. It's just like all truth points to God. So participating in truth telling is an act of pointing towards God. And so in our context, our families, our small groups, our friendships, to participate in friendships of truth, that's pointing to God in them. So
that's good. That points to the definition then of what is truth. If real truth points to God, I think there's a very gray definition of, what's true out there. But I'm thinking of Jesus saying, I am the truth. And just like, how do we blend all these concepts to then apply in a church context of exercising truth? But
yeah, I don't want to go in
not theology,
existentialism
right?
and all that stuff, because that's not the point. Our goal is not like, hey, I want to talk theology with people. It's like, I want to, I want to tell someone, hey, I'm hurt by you, and here's why, or hey, I think you're hurting this group, and here's how, or
right.
So is there something between us I want to talk about? Like, how do I go about like sharing the truth that I'm experiencing pain, or I'm seeing someone in causing pain to a bigger picture?
I think it's easy for us when we talk about this, when it's like when you're speaking truth to somebody, that therefore it's bringing something up that's negative or bad. Right. When there's also truth
that's good, that
is they don't know the positive. Like they don't know that they are gentle. They don't know that they are they don't know, like you said,
that they do confront people.
Yes. Yeah. Well, not even that, but like the perfectionism, like, why do I even try? But like, has somebody spoken truth to you to say like, you do a good job.
Right.
You pour
to
your
help
heart
me give
into
myself
something.
grace. Yes. Yeah. Totally.
Because I think it's easy for us when it's like, I have to speak truth to somebody, that you're going to be calling out something negative when there's an opposite side to calling something out that's really good.
Yeah. That's so good. But I think too, what I was thinking when I said this whole thing, Jesus is the truth, not to turn the corner into, preaching the gospel. That's not what I meant. But like when you said somebody's telling you the truth, but it's not true, and it's an attack, or it's offensive, or it's not even accurate. I think that's what I meant. If every truth points to God, then first you have to go through the filter. Is it really true? Yeah. But that's the other thing that you talked about that I thought was a very key point is how people receive it. I forget what exactly you said, but I think maybe you're ready, and even you articulate things well, but it's also in the hands of the person receiving it. Oh, when you're talking about defensiveness, yes. So I think that as in every relationship, there's the two parts. And I think, of course, we want to take ownership of what's in our hands to do. But then there's what's in the other person's hand to do. And I think a lot of times it gets tricky. So just, I don't know, in the past month, however long ago, I was going to have a conversation with somebody, and I could tell like they're not ready to engage in a hard conversation right now, so then like, even though I was ready, they weren't ready. So I'm like, okay, wait.
All right. So I just want to summarize. So timing is important.
That's good. Yeah.
So timing, sometimes the timing is not correct. Sometimes the timing is correct.
And having the empathy, like if you're speaking the truth and truly the goal is for the good of the other person, it's not because you're hurt and you're trying to hurt back.
Right.
You truly are speaking the truth because you want the best for them. Then you really have to take into consideration, is this going to produce life right now?
Yeah. And okay. How about the environment? I'm an environment person. How does environment come into play in hard conversations?
Oh man,
totally.
Go for a walk.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk about that.
I think there's something about when you're like having a conversation, but you're in this cadence together, walking together, or even a car ride. I don't know. Like that's kind of where I've had some of my crucial conversations, so to speak, and everything. Although I don't know if that's the best way to do it, because obviously eye contact is important and all that. But but I think just sometimes, being in a neutral setting and
I almost think like I bring up environment because like if I'm gonna do a hard thing and I have a goal of a positive outcome, I'm gonna ask how do I create a context that's going to give me the best possible outcome.
It's not me in my office, it's not that kind of.
And like, so like for me, I am bad on the phone. Right. And so if I'm anticipating doing it on the phone would be terrible. Or if someone says, hey, I say you want to talk about this hard thing, I want to do it on the phone.
Yeah.
The odds are already stacked against
That's
us.
not gonna work. Yeah.
Emails, horrible idea.
Text is worse.
Texting is bad, and like blah blah. I tend to try to see the person I'm going to talk to or the people I'm going to talk to, and trying to put them in an environment that says, I see you, and I care about you.
Yes. I didn't want to interrupt you because it's so good. But yeah, I was listening to this thing on leadership, just talking about all the modern world challenges of communication and how the body language, your tone, your facial expression, all the things when you're communicating, that's obviously so helpful. We all know that, but how nowadays a majority of the conversation is happening through texts. And the challenge that it causes. But on the flip side, so even though I totally agree, the tone will change everything. Maybe the same message you would read on an email, but being spoken, seeing eye to eye, obviously that changes everything. But I was just thinking about, so I just want to bring this up because it's the flip side. There's always a flip side. There's people I know that they just have such a hard time being open, vulnerable, and honest in person. Maybe they're shy, maybe they feel exposed, whatever, but they do an amazing job writing. And I think it's honoring, in a way, the introverts that maybe will like journal and be able to craft. So like I know somebody that they want to write everything down to really think through the words they want to say, compared to when you're talking, maybe you'll say things you'll regret, so.
Absolutely. I actually just did that today. I typically am a very in-person, I want to set up a time, I want to see you, blah, blah, blah. But I came to the spot of like, oh, this person I'm talking to, they actually enjoy sitting there, seeing it, picking it apart. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go into that environment. I sat down and I typed. And how I typed it, I was just like, this is so uncomfortable for me because I feel like it's so black and white, but I'm sure it's not. But it's speaking that person's vocabulary. And I think
it's honoring them.
Yeah, I think it's our tendency going into a hard conversation because I'm hurt or I'm offended, I'm going to force that person to be on the terms that I'm in. But I think it has to be the opposite.
That's good.
I'm going to create the context for success to happen,
right?
Because it's hard, and so to be able to already go into the conversation hoping for a positive outcome compared to just I just have to say it, or I have to go into a fight so I feel better. Some of us enjoy fighting because it feels good. That's not going to take us anywhere. So if you have this positive outcome at the end, and then you're seeing the other person, and you go into it asking God to be present. I mean, like, think about this. I mean, a game changer. Like, God, please be there. Like, help me see this person's heart. Like, hard conversations aren't something that just happens easily. There's a lot of effort that goes into a hard conversation of speaking truth compared to just a conversation that happens.
Yeah, that's good.
Out of frustration or anger or, I would agree with that. I think, too, to what you were talking about, the, like, preparing something, I'm definitely in that camp. Like, when I get stressed, to be able to articulate just goes down the toilet. It's just, or I'll say things like, that's not what I mean, and I noticed this even like in my own marriage. I married somebody who's very articulate, who can process under stressful situations, who speaks the truth very, very well, and, can it's like kick people down the stairs with a smile, kind of thing. And then,
I've never heard that
and then
before.
they
That's-
walk away
yeah.
going, "Thank you." And I'm like, how do you do that?
That's so
And
funny.
I'm the opposite. I'll go in and I'm just like, well, I might as well just fight because that's all I got. That's what I feel like. But
Mhm.
if I prepare and I write out my heart, a lot of times that works better in situations, even with him, because then he can see like, oh, this is what you're actually feeling, even if I can't articulate it in speech.
Yeah, it's really
So-
good.
Yeah. I love too this layer of this topic regarding what do you want out of this conversation.
Mhm.
And I think just going into speaking the truth with the correct motivation.
Right,
What is the point here? What are you really after? Because I
Mhm.
think if we're going to be honest, if we want to tell somebody something that
They don't
came
wanna
up,
hear.
yeah, it's probably because you were either hurt by it or it caused something in you to move you to bring this up, right? And it's good chances that maybe you're upset and you want to hurt them back or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think the ability to like exhale and have a sober understanding of the situation and going into speaking the truth with a clear, what do I want? What's the best outcome out of
All right, so talking about a clear understanding, I want to just like circle back.
Mhm.
So there's a theme that's big in our church, and it's a theme of being curious.
Mhm.
Because sometimes the things that have hurt us or the things that have to be talked about are things that aren't clear, and there's assumptions or things that you
It's
have
true.
heard. I would say
Yeah.
80% of the time,
Right.
I heard something, or there's this, or there's that, or
The
someone
stories
said to
we
me.
tell ourselves.
And
Yeah.
so I think big explosions happen if the assumptions are the truth and I'm bringing, but I don't have a posture of curiosity about the things that have been brought to me.
Mhm.
And so if I can be curious about, so I heard that,
Mhm.
help me understand the thing that's going on
Yeah.
here,
Mhm.
or is this even true?
Yeah.
Right.
Because then something fruitful can come from it.
That's good.
Again, talking about the armor and being defensive. If someone brings assumptions as truth,
Mhm. Yeah, that's a problem.
but it isn't true,
Mhm.
the only posture the other person can have is
defense.
defensiveness.
Right. Yep.
And that causes the person
Right.
bringing the assumption to go on the attack.
Right.
And
And then it's a cycle.
it can't be, but a posture of curiosity
That's good.
brings us to a
Yeah.
place of, tell me the truth.
And I think it's training your reactions to that in the Brene Brown book, that lead where she talks about always assume positive intent or never assume negative intent. Yeah.
Everyone is trying the best they
Yes,
can,
yes.
having the info that they have.
They're not all out to get us, right?
Right.
So I'm just thinking about all of this. So kind of taking a step back. So in the context of church, then we're talking
Right.
about family, but in a church community context, how does this play out? And I think the first question that comes to my mind is like what I said about you having enough of a connection with somebody that allows for these things to happen. And so like what's the it feels to me like there's an order of things that need to be built for you to arrive in this place.
Oh man, that actually brings up like, yeah, I mean, I haven't thought about this, but there is a capital that has to be built for certain
Yes.
types of conversations.
Mhm.
Like, so inside a church context. So if someone I haven't ever talked to before and who hasn't ever gone to our church before comes and gives me feedback on content that I
Right.
taught or something, I don't have a context for that.
Mhm.
And I don't know who they are. I don't know their
Right.
heart. I don't know their intent. I just don't know.
Yeah.
And
you're not going to move forward with that
Yeah.
conversation.
Compared to someone that I know, if they tell me I just bombed and here's how I bombed it and blah, 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 but it's like someone who cares about me.
Right. They're for you.
Then I'm going to accept that.
Yeah.
And so in the same type of thing, if you're in a group context, that a group has been together for a super long time, there's capital there and the ability to speak into it. But if you're brand new, I mean, I think about like, there are those people who come to our church for the first time and then they'll fill out a comment card of they don't prefer the songs or they don't prefer the music. It's like, who cares? But if it's someone who's been going to it, they're invested in our community and our heartbeat, and they fill out the comments, then that holds something heavier to us. So in a small group context, in a friendship, the same thing. So if a friendship has been together for an extended period of time, there's value there, and there has to be that engagement. And I always have this thing of like every time a quality friendship has an argument, a debate, or even a fight, it's going to always propel you further. It's going to bring you up. I mean, I think about us. For the two of us, there's been two huge arguments that have happened over our past 10 years. But I can pinpoint those and say, man, I'm really thankful because that forced us to just be honest and care for each other and see each other.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and I think this conversation is feels like we'll have the prequels because it feels like this is the end, arriving to a place where relationships are strong and it can hold the truth. And I think then in the next ones is then how do we get there? And it's the vulnerability, it's the longevity, the faithfulness, the hesed love, and all the other things that you need to build this foundation for then truth to happen.
I mean, I just think like the healthier a group is, the healthier a friendship is, the more ability there is to say hard things, to go to places that like the average person could not go. And so the gift that it is to come out on the other side of a hard, so Pastor Allen calls it the tunnel of chaos. To come out on the other side and say, man, our group crushed that. Like that was awesome. Because it's going to bring you to so much of a better place.
Right.
Because that actually is telling the truth about that group, that it is healthy. But if you're afraid that things are going to crumble if you tell the truth, the bigger truth probably is that it isn't as healthy as you think that it is. That the two of you aren't as close as you think that you were. So I think there's something there.
Yeah, that's good. And just how I think that experience, when it happens in a healthy way, that's what generates genuine and good, healthy transformation and growth. And I think that's the heart of God. Like, why are we supposed to do this together? To do life together. When we get to this place to experience this, how fruitful is that?
Yeah, that's good. All right, so that's going to be it for today. It isn't the end of things. This is the beginning of things. There's a whole bunch here to think about. Think about timing, think about environment, think about intentionality, think about the presence of God, think about the quality of friendships and groups. Like all of these things can be very practical and applied. So spend some time thinking about that. And that'll be it for now. So thanks for joining us.